No, 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 no. Hello everyone, Speedy Hedgehog Live here with a new video. Today I'm going to be playing some Minecraft. So, yeah. Now you may be thinking, Speedy Hedgehog, what happened to your other Minecraft world? Well, with the mansions. Well, I deleted it. The reason why I deleted it is because I didn't think it was a pretty good idea, and I thought it wasn't going to work out. So I decided to delete that world and start off with a fresh, brand new slate. So in this video, I'm going to be starting off by making a brand new city. In order to do so, the first thing I'm going to build is a house for me to live in. So let's do it.
Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a modern suburban house. This house has a balcony, a large garage, a porch, a large open plan lobby that leads into a kitchen / dining area / living room. Upstairs, we are led onto a landing, which takes us out onto the balcony if we so choose. Down our hallway, we are led to a large bedroom outfitted with a TV, wardrobes, a table, a bed, and if we come all the way to the end of the hallway, we will have a nice large bathroom with a bath, toilet, a sink, unit space. I often get asked to make the inside of my builds as well. If you guys would like to see an interior tutorial for the house, if you would like to see a separate video where I show you how to do all of the inside block for block and the outside too, please let me know down in the comment section, and more importantly, if this video hits 1,500 likes, which is a lot, then I will 100% make the video for you. So you'll just have to let me know by leaving a comment. If this video hits 1,500 likes, I will 100% do it, and that'll let me know that you guys really do want to see it. But without any further ado, let's get started. Here are all of the materials that we will need to make our house. Please do make... sure that you have access to all those materials and enough of them as well. And now that we have all of that stuff, we can get started. So the first thing that we are going to do is place a row of 5 white concrete extending up from the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We then want to extend to the right by 11.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I want you to join all the way down to the ground. I want you to take this vertical row of white concrete that we have, and I want you to extend it forwards by 2 rows. So 1 and 2. I then want to take the top row, and I want you to extend it to the right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're then going to extend down to the ground. We're going to take the block that hit the ground, and we're going to go right towards us, and then right by 2, 1, 2. We're then going to extend towards us and go up by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
We're then going to go right by 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to extend all the way down to the ground, just like this. We're going to take the block that hit the ground and we're going to go back and right by 2, 1, 2. We're then going to extend backwards by 19, 1.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We then want to take that 19th block and we want to extend across the back of the build by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then place yourself 3 glass pane. 1, 2, 3. Place 4 more white concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then extend inwards by 3. So 1, 2, 3. As a matter of fact, there's going to be a double door here. So if you like, you can destroy 2 blocks in the ground going right with whatever material you might want to use for a ground material inside. I might go for polished andesite, but I might also change that. So all I'm going to do is just place some andesite and then a double door. What we are then going to do is we are going to continue going right of the door, and we want to place ourselves 7 white concrete. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just like this. But in addition to this, what we also want to do is we want to take the block left of the doorway area here, and we want to raise it up by 9. So 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we want to go to the right by 8. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you can actually join that down to the ground. You should find that that actually doesn't connect to the row that we just made. That's actually perfectly fine. What we want to do with this row, the sticky out block that we kind of have here, is we want to place 2 glass in front of it. 1, 2. We then want to place a white concrete in front of that. We then want to place 5 glass going left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then stick a white concrete on the end. And this is going to be the outline for a porch that we're actually going to be making a little bit later on. What are we then going to do? Well, we want to come all the way back to this singular block again, right here, and we want to extend it to the right or forwards as it is by 2, so 1 and 2. We then want to extend the block to the right, and we want to line it up with the very first block that we ever placed. We want to drag it forward, and all in all, once you have completed that, you should end up with this shape right here. So this is what the house should actually look like once the foundation for the build has been made. So it's looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. So all we have to do now, of course, is we just have to add some details to this thing. So we can do that. First thing, what we're going to do, we'll start from pretty much, we'll start here, from where we started the build, and we'll work our way clockwise. We're going to, first of all, add a row of white concrete up the left side of the garage door area here on the left, and we need to add 2 rows on the right side to make it even, like this. We need to have a garage door, so that is going to be made out of quartz stairs. These rows of quartz stairs are simply going to be stacked on top of each other like this inside the empty space that we have inside. We're going to place a lining of light grey concrete around the quartz stairs, as then, if you have a look from the outside, you'll actually get kind of like a shadowy look around these stairs, which is quite pleasant. We can also lay the foundation for the roof of this thing. So if you place a layer of polished andesite slabs across the top of the front of the garage, and you have the slab extend outwards like this, later on we will be extending the slab in and up and in and up, coming towards the top back part of the garage. Or we could even do it now, I suppose. If you raise up the side of the garage so that it is at least as high as the front of the garage, so if you just raise up the left side of the garage here, this is going to be the outer part of the build, and if we raise up the back part of the garage as well, just so that it's as high as the light grey concrete that you can just see ahead of us over there, then we can add the frame in for the roof, and then we can fill it in a little bit later. So we'll want to have the same sort of deal. So on the back of the garage, we won't add the entire row now, but on the back of the garage, we'll also want a similar row of andesite slabs, and we'll want to extend these slabs in and up and in and up and in and up, and eventually they'll want to join together in the middle. So these two rows on the front and the back, as I said, they will want to join together in the middle, just kind of like this. Perfect. We can fill the centre of the top of the roof in just on the side here with some white concrete like this, and that is looking pretty good. We'll do more with that later. What do we want to do now? Well, we have to make the actual entrance. So the entrance is here, just right of the garage, and we want to place 2 rows of white concrete extending backwards, so 1, 2 on this right side. That will remain even with that left side over there. And basically what we can then do is we can take the inside here and we can place a door right in the middle of this empty space. So I'm just going to destroy that, place a polished diamond inside, stick a door there, and then I did originally want to have glass block for the door. I'm sure that it will be in the item list, but I just so happen to have forgot it at the moment. I'm going to place some black glass block completely surrounding the door. I'm going to place white concrete all the way around the glass block like this. So the entrance will look a little bit sunken in, and it's just a little bit more interesting to have something that looks a little bit like that. You can join it together at the top like this using a bit of white concrete like so. We have to make a balcony just above this area here, so what I'm going to do is take the outer row of white concrete that we have, and then I'm going to add another row on top. I'm then going to take the left side and I'm going to add 1, 2, 3 white concretes on top, and the right side 1, 2, 3 directly on top. I'm going to add another row on top. I'm then going here, so what I'm going to do is take the outer row of white concrete that we have, and I'm going to add another row on top. I'm then going to take the left side and I'm going to add 1, 2, 3 white concretes on top, and the right side 1, 2, 3 directly on top like this. I want to take the left side of this and I want to extend backwards by 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4 like so, and I'll do the same on the opposite side, so 1, 2, 3, 4. This kind of has to be filled in. So I'm going to be using some andesite for this, just to kind of consistent with the colour scheme. And what I'm then going to do is kind of just create an entrance area. So I have to raise up this back pair of white concrete to be as high as the front pair of white concrete, like this. I have to create a doorway, so there'll be a double door here on the left. I want a separation using white concrete like this right in the middle of them. And I might even make the white concrete a tad a little bit higher as well. I might make them all 1 row higher, and then that means that we'll have a higher ceiling. I'll join the white concrete together at the back. That is not necessary with the front. I'm going to add a glass block above the double door, and I'm simply going to fill the right side in using glass pane. I can join this area here to the front of the build using white concrete, and I can place black stained glass paint around the edge of the balcony area here, and then that gives you a pretty good look. So we have a nice balcony overlooking our entrance, we have our entrance, and we have a garage. Well, what do we want to do for the area just to the right here? We could raise up the white concretes that we have in this corner shape to be as high as the white concretes that kind of surround us. We don't really have to shape them yet, so just like this on the left, and we can do the same on the right side as well. We can just raise up all the white concretes to be as high as the others. Perfect. Okay, so what about this middle part? This middle part, we want to have 3 rows of glass directly underneath it. So 1, 2, 3. There'll be 3 solid rows of glass. I then want to place, I don't know whether to use light grey concrete for this. I'm going to use 2 rows of light grey concrete directly underneath the glass area here, I'm going to split it in the middle using white concrete, a vertical row of white just like this, right? And what I'm then going to do is I'm going to place light grey concrete on the left side here, just on the inside, and on the right side here, just on the inside as well. I want to fill the top part in using glass like this. So all of this just wants to be filled in with glass. It's quite a feature. It's a large window like so. These are also two large windows, so these also want to be filled in with glass, specifically at this point. You see, we're going to extend the light grey concrete once we have added all of these windows. So all this light grey concrete that we have, we're going to extend one row forwards, okay? So the whole lot, so the sides, the top, just one row forwards. We're then going to fan it out on the left and right sides, like this. We may even get rid of the rows of white that are behind it to make it look a little bit better. So that looks pretty good. And I don't know whether I like the white as it is, like that, or I don't know whether I would, or I don't know whether I would like that a little bit better. I think that that may look a tad bit cleaner, but that's going to be a personal choice. You can do whichever you like. So just like that. I think that looks pretty good. We're getting some complexity to this build now. So, what are we going to do next? You may be wondering to yourselves. Well, I think that we're going to build up the entire side of the build. The side of the build is going to be built up in the same way as the front of the build. We're just going to use loads and loads of white concrete to make it as high as the rest of the area, pretty much. I mean, that's all there is to it. So, just as high as the rest of the area. That'll be, I want to say, 9 rows directly on top, so it may take a little while. And you may be also wondering, why are there no windows on this side of the build? There will be once we tackle the interior, but for now, without knowing what the layout's going to be, I'm not going to add any windows. Let's come towards the back of the build now. So the back of the build is actually quite cool as well. On the back of the build, we're going to want to begin by extending the white concrete up as high as all of the rest of the white concrete. So we, again, a sense of consistency, we want to keep them all as high as each other. So all of this is going to be a little bit more interesting than this though when we finally do get to it, as we will be adding a splash of light grey, as is consistent with the build. The build is primarily white and grey, which is a colour combination that I do quite like. It's very, very modern. Also feels a bit suburban as well. At the bottom, we want to have 3 rows of windows. So we already have the 1, 2, 3. There will then be, I want to say, 3 rows of 1, 2, 3 white concrete directly above. We could even perhaps make the windows 1 row larger as they are on the front. So we may make them 4 instead of 3. It doesn't really matter. It's you know, kind of up to you. It's just a little bit similar to the front then, and then we want to place white concrete above. And completely up above this is going to be glass, by the way. So glass is actually going to go from this point in between these 2 rows of white. It'll actually go all the way up to the apex of the roof, so we'll just leave it as that. Left and right of this, we're going to have rows of light grey concrete. So light grey concrete are going to sit either side of the windows. And it's just going to kind of frame the back of the house. It looks quite cool like this. I really like the effect, and I like the fact that it's offset slightly, it's not symmetrical. Okay, what about this area? Well, we're going to completely fill this area in with white concrete. It's not going to stay that way, but we're going to start it off that way. This area, filled in with white concrete, is going to have a multitude of windows. So, what windows do we want to add? There's some at the top of the build. If we start from the left side and we drop down by 1 and we destroy a row of 2, and we leave a gap and then destroy a row of 1, 2, 3, 4. And if we drop these windows down 2 rows, these are the windows that we want to have. We can fill these in with black stained glass paint, because this is a nice contrast between the white. I never pointed out why I use black glass, but hopefully it's quite obvious is that it's a really nice contrast. It really sticks out. Down below here, this is a back door. You can place glass if you want above the back door or down, it's up to you. And right of this, leaving a gap of 1, we want to have a 2x2 window using glass pane again, so just like this. I want to take the porch and I want to destroy underneath all of the glass pane portions of the porch. I'm going to replace it with white concrete. Then take the middle area of the porch, so all of this grass here, and I'm going to place andesite. I'm using andesite for a lot of flooring, but you can easily just change that. Stone would also look nice as well. I'd encourage you to use some sort of grey block if you want to kind of keep things consistent. I need to join the front and the back of the build together. So the balcony that we have on the front of the build wants to connect towards the back porch on the back of the build. This is achieved just by placing a few rows of white concrete towards the top and a little bit of white concrete at the bottom, like this. We have to have an overhang for the porch. What we're going to do is take the corner of the porch, the outward corner, and we're going to place 2 white concrete blocks on top. Place andesite on top of that, join it to the garage, join it to the side of the build. Place polished andesite slabs around the base of the andesite like this. And then we want to slowly build up the top of the porch area using andesite slabs like this. That looks fantastic. We can now do the garage roof. The garage roof is very easy. We simply extend the andesite that we placed earlier across to the house. It's basically a mixture of andesite slabs and andesite blocks. So, as I always recommend, it's almost getting a bit repetitive the way that I do these roofs, but I like this so much more than the stairs. Really do. I love this roof so much better than stairs. Extend all of the solid andesite blocks towards the center of the build, so this will cover the majority of the roof, and then finish up by placing these slabs in between it. So it will just look way better this way, like this. The slabs in between, just like that. That's looking pretty good. And then on the back here, same thing. So this will complete the roof, and this will actually be the same way that we tackle the large roof, just all at the top here. So when it comes to the large roof, it doesn't really matter which side we start, whether we start on the front or the back or just on the side here. What's important is that we how do we do this? I want to make sure that this is done correctly. So on the right side of the build, we're going to place a row of andesite slab. The andesite slab wants to be extended forwards, and it wants to overhang the white concrete area of the build and be level with the light grey concrete area. The andesite slabs then want to get extended inwards and upwards until they line up with the centre part of the large part of the build, so the main part of the build. That means that at its peak, it will be even and level with the row of white concrete that we have down below us. We can then extend the andesite slabs left and down and left and down and left and down and left and down and left and down until eventually they are even with the opposite side, because it's a little bit more fluid on the left side than it is the right as to where this should go. When it comes to this roof is also a little bit weird in the fact that we kind of want to extend the andesite backwards slabs. It wants to wrap around the top of the balcony area here, and it kind of wants to then go all the way back towards the back of the house. So we kind of have a twofold sort of roof, and then it will come all the way to the left. It will join here, and then we'll just have to see how that all joins together. So we're then going to take the andesite on the side of the roof, we'll extend it backwards, we'll make the same peak as we did on the front of the roof. I don't know whether to overhang the andesite on the back of the build. No, you know what, we'll make it even with the light grey concrete again, and we'll build it into the roof. So we're going to make the same shape using the andesite slabs here. We'll make sure that it's the same as the front, so that would be the apex, is with the middle of the window. We can start bringing it down again, and then we can see precisely how it's all just going to join together. So where would it be? It would come this far down here, and then we can just join it to the little mini part of the roof that we just made there. Things get a lot easier if you just place the solid andesite blocks. That really does help to kind of just frame things a little bit, so we can then extend these slabs over here And then I was contemplating on, hang on, being tricky. So there we go. And then I was contemplating on making this part of the roof like, I was thinking about making it kind of like a little bit taller, so adding like a couple of rows of andesite, just kind of like extending inwards like this, and that would join there, of course. But I don't know how high I would want to make it, or maybe I should just leave it at that. I'll do the main part of the roof, and that's something that you could also decide for yourself as well. You could kind of figure out whether you want to have that left side kind of like blend in, or whether you want to keep it a little bit flatter. That's probably a personal choice. I may keep it flatter, just so that there is a little bit of variation with the roof. But we'll see. We'll see how we feel about it. So let's place all of this andesite just like this. Here. It might also be easier as well, by the way. On the back of the build, we are going to place polished andesite. We're going to extend the light grey concrete upwards. This will join to the roof. We also want to then, what would make it easier is if we extend the white upwards behind it, and we want to place glass in between the rows of white and the light grey, and it just basically just wants to extend all the way up to the top of the build like this. So you can see the glass window is actually built in, and it looks quite cool. Fill in any gaps on the front and the back of the build anywhere that you see, and all the way up to the top of the build like this. So you can see the glass window is actually built in, and it looks quite cool. Fill in any gaps on the front and the back of the build anywhere that you see gaps. So like at the top of the build here, of course, we're going to want to place all of this white concrete like this, and it just looks pretty good like that. And then we can continue adding in the, have we done all these sides? All of this white concrete like this, and it just looks pretty good like that. And then we can continue adding in the, have we done all these sideways? I think we've done all the andesite blocks. So we just have to place these slabs, extending forwards and backwards, back and forth and back like this. Here, oh, this entire side isn't done. I had a feeling that we'd already done that, but I was completely wrong. No surprise there. So that is the main roof done, I want to say. I'm pretty sure that is the main roof done. As we have a look at the back, we have completely filled. Oh, there, I see a little white concrete block that just needs placing there. That's perfect. And then for this, I'm going to completely fill the top of this in using polished andesite slabs like this. If you want, you can raise the height of the roof. I'm going to keep it flat. Raise the height of the roof, all I mean is that you would slowly extend up slabs so that it kind of like met the roof, and then you'd have a completely different shape really, but like you turn this left side of the house here, like you'd add an apex to it if you wanted to, and it could look cool, but I'm keeping with the kind of like flat part of the roof. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a good look around this. This is what your house should look like once it is pretty much fully completed. In terms of structure, this is the outside part of the house pretty much done. The structure of the house is ready to be filled in on the inside. It's ready to have a garden added to it on the front and the back. It's ready to go. Now, I'm not going to be personally doing that block by block for you because I expect that you'll probably want to fill your house in a specific way to yourself. You'll probably want to decorate it in a way that you really, really like for yourself. But just to give you an idea of what the house will look like, I'm going to go away. I'm going to fill the inside of the house in for you. I'm going to add a little bit of a garden to the front and the back. And I'll show you what it could look like if you're lacking a bit of inspiration. But I'll be back in a second. I'll do all that. And then I'll show you what the entire finished product will look like. So this is what your modern house will look like once it has been 100% fully completed.
With the new CommBank app, you can do it all. Track your spending and invest from anywhere. Because with new personalized features, the CommBank app understands every version of you. Well, nearly. Whatever your industry, wherever the location, there's a Royal Wolf shipping container solution to get the job done.
Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to turn this into this. I'll be showing you how to make the outside of your house, the ground floor of your house, and I'll also be showing you how to make the second floor of your house as well. Before you can make the inside of the house, you are first going to have to make the outside, which I'm sure many of you guys will have, but if you haven't yet made this part of the build that you can see behind me, check out the card system, the description below, and the top of the comment section for the original house tutorial. And once you have got that made, we can continue on. Here are all of the materials that we are going to be starting off with, ladies and gentlemen. As we progress through the build, we will be using different materials. Some of them will be repeats, but we're going to go on a room by room basis for what we are going to use, just so that we don't get all muddled up. Make sure you have all that stuff, and once you do, we can begin. Step one, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get a lot of things done quickly. So, we're going to focus on the outside first of all. We need our terracotta, and we need to come to the left side of our garage. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get a lot of things done quickly. So, we're going to focus on the outside first of all. We need our terracotta, and we need to come to the left side of our garage. We're going to place a terracotta left of the garage and extend that forwards by 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come to the left side of our garage. We're going to place a terracotta left of the garage and extend that forwards by 30.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Not only do we want a row of 13 on that left side, but we want the same length row on this right side. I'm not sure it counts out to be 13 because the house is uneven, of course, but just make sure that it is the same row on both sides. We're going to place ferns or some sort of little grassy plant next to the terracotta, so feel free to do exactly that. We're going to place sand on the insides of the rows of plants, and I'm going to use stone pressure plates to look like rocks. So you can use buttons to achieve this effect, you can use stone pressure plates, you can use carpet, you can use a whole mixture of materials, but I just want kind of a rocky appearance, and I didn't want to flood my inventory with stuff. But there's many, many different ways that you can achieve that effect right there. So what else does the house need? The house, but there's many, many different ways that you can achieve that effect right there. So what else does the house need? The house needs a driveway. So the house needs a driveway and a path that will actually lead us to the entrance. So if we dig out a bit around the entrance, and this is going to be a little bit sloppy, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to want to take your own initiative here a little bit. So you're probably going to want to dig about 3 rows or so in front of the entrance, and then you're going to want to dig a little bit more, but you're going to want to curve the path. We're going to try and maintain, say, about a width of 3, and we're going to fill this in using some smooth stone. As long as we've got some sort of curved path which will lead us off to the side, which is where the garage is, then we're pretty good. So something like this will do just fine, and if we just lead off these last 3 or so blocks off to the side here, and we want them to kind of cover the width towards the garage, so these rows are going to kind of stop there once we hit the sand. We don't want the entire garage area, we don't want this entire area to be a drive, but if we come to where the end of these stairs are, and we kind of like dig from here, and we kind of continue going, so like we found the other bit of land, we kind of like dig kind of like a diagonal shape, and then that gives us like a width of about 4, and then we kind of like dig towards the end of where our drive would be, kind of like this. then that looks pretty good. So just to kind of like give you a bit of a visual representation, I think that that will look pretty good as a drive. There's no need to make it like really wide, unless you want to say put multiple cars on here, but I quite like just the kind of like curved appearance, kind of like that. So we'll leave that as it is. That obviously has to be dug out and replaced with stone. We want to add some hedging just left of the entrance area here, which is just going to be some leaves. We'll dig here, we'll have some smooth stone. We want to have some hedging around the path that we just created that kind of leads to our driveway. So just like that, should look fine. I want to have some sand around it as well. I like the idea of having some sand. For some reason in my mind it complements the colour of the house quite a bit. Kind of like the sand colour and the light grey and the white all just seems to go together. I'm going to place a little bit of birch fence around this as well. Just kind of sparingly, just to make it kind of look like maybe perhaps a support structure or something like that. But actually, it just looks kind of cool. Now that we've done that, the area all the way to the right of this, and I do mean all of it, but like all of this, so basically from the end of the driveway here, all the way to the sand on the opposite side, and everywhere in between is going to be grass. But it's not going to be real grass, it's going to be fake grass. It's going to be made out of lime terracotta. If you want fancy looking lawn lines, then you will use a mixture of lime terracotta and green terracotta, but that's going to be completely up to you as to whether or not you want to do that. So I am quite happy just having the regular lime terracotta, but if you guys know what I'm talking about, where you alternate a pattern of lime terracotta and green terracotta in some sort of pattern, like it will give you kind of like a really nice cleanly cut lawn effect. And that's what we kind of have at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. I know it looks really messy, but if you just imagine in your mind the fact that we're going to dig out the centre of the lime terracotta, replace it with lime terracotta, and we're going to dig out the centre of the smooth stone area, and we're going to replace it with smooth stone, then everything becomes a little bit less messy. But now we're going to flip around towards the back of the house, and we have a few things to do. So I want to extend the terracotta wall that we have on the left side of the house. I want to extend it back, and I kind of want to have it poke out the back a little bit. I want to come to the opposite side as well, and I want to extend the wall, and I want to extend the wall all the way backwards. It's going to hang out of the back of the house a little bit, probably maybe just that one row there, and then it's going to extend across, and it's kind of going to be even and level with the back part of the house here. We can shove some oak leaves in between, we can even place it in front of the window as well, and then that kind of just adds a nice wall around the house. I'm pretty happy with that. What can we do for this point? So this point here we could use, do we have any slabs on us? We don't. So we could use slabs for this, or we can use some fence or something similar to that. And we can kind of create kind of like a little rock gut point. So this point here we could use, do we have any slabs on us? We don't. So we could use slabs for this, or we can use some fence or something similar to that. And we can kind of create kind of like a little rock garden, kind of like sand garden on the back. Something similar to this sort of shape right here will do just fine. And garden, kind of like sand garden on the back. Something similar to this sort of shape right here will do just fine. And what we can do is we can use some andesite just to vary materials a little bit, and we can also dig out inside of the porch area here that we have on the back of the house, so we can kind of just replace this with andesite, or you can use smooth stone. It's really up to you which you want to use, just to keep it a bit different. And we could extend the andesite all the way across here so that we can walk to our tiny little garden there on the right. We can then basically take this, keep it a bit different, and we can extend the andesite all the way across here so that we can walk to our tiny little garden there on the right. We can then basically take this entire area, and I like the idea of just having kind of like a rock garden, a bit of a sand garden. We can add some ferns, we can use our slabs, or pressure plates as they are, they're not slabs, and just make it like a nice little tidy sort of garden. I'm imagining this as kind of like a newly built house and perhaps more of a desert type landscape, perhaps a drier type landscape. That's why I've kind of got like a limited sort of garden. You can even use leaves and stuff too. That's kind of why we've got the limited sort of garden, and that's why I'm using pressure plates and stuff as rocks. And I don't know, it just, that's what I'm imagining in my mind. This is. Sort of garden, and that's why I'm using pressure plates and stuff as rocks. I don't know, it just, that's what I'm imagining in my mind. That's where it's sort of built. So it's a very, very simple outdoor area. New builds typically don't get quite a lot of garden anyway. Underneath the fence, what can we do? Well, we could just add some more sand. That's a very real possibility. Or we can kind of like edge, or we can place some terracotta underneath it perhaps as well. Just kind of like there's a bit of edging towards the little, like the rock sand garden that we have, like this. Well, I didn't really mean to destroy that fence block. Okay, well that's fine. We'll just we'll replace that in a second. I did the same thing more than once. Good place. Maybe we can do that and it can connect there. We could even just have that kind of like terracotta block in the middle if we wanted to. Maybe even just one on the end here too, something like that, just to make it a little bit more lively. And now that we've terracotta block in the middle if we wanted to, maybe even just one on the end here too, something like that, just to make it a little bit more lively. And now that we've done that, ladies and gentlemen, we've actually done a huge part of the outside of the house. And the outside of the house isn't particularly extensive. The inside of the house is where this really, really does shine. Now that we've kind of like done all this outside, we are going to head towards the inside of our house because we have a lot to do in here. So, for the inside of the house is where this really, really does shine. Now that we've kind of like done all this outside, we are going to head towards the inside of our house because we have a lot to do in. So, for the
yeah. Okay. Guys, I'm going to end the video here now, so I'll see you guys next time.